Hey guys, Emma from Yellow Brick Roads here, helping you build your confidence brick by brick. I am just going to try and invite Puneet on from B Coaching. Let's see if I can do this. Hey Ren, how you doing? I was just about to invite you onto a live, Ren. I'm just waiting for a guy to jump on from another coaching platform. A guy that I follow on Instagram. He's amazing. But I need him to watch to be able to invite him in. So I'm just going to sit here a bit like a plum for a minute. Hold on a second. I wonder if I can actually invite him here. When you go live with someone, anyone can watch their videos. Okay, doke. Maybe I need to message him. Bear with me a second. Here he is, here he is. Hey Puneet, how you doing? Go. It says it's waiting for you to join. You should be coming up in a minute. There he is!
Hello.
Hi!
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. I love your hair, by the way.
Thank you. I had it all chopped. Let me come
Looks
down
wicked.
a bit. Yeah, it's very curly, pretty afro, my hair.
Oh, looks
But
great.
yeah, I had it all cut the other day, so it's gone
Oh,
very
wicked.
short and very, very curly. How you doing? You all
I'm
right?
very well, yourself?
Yeah, very good, very
Yeah,
good. So
good,
thank
good.
you so much for coming on
Oh, it's my
today.
pleasure. It's my pleasure.
How's your week been? How's it been? How's it all going?
Brilliant,
Busy,
as usual. Absolutely
yeah?
brilliant. Yeah, it's been really, really good. How about yours?
Yeah, super busy.
Yeah,
I'm finding though, like getting up in the morning. We were talking about this last week, and I'm going to introduce you in a second. We're going
sure.
to talk about, what I wanted to discuss with you today. But
Of course.
I've been finding waking up in the mornings, I'm just bloody knackered. I feel like I'm dragging myself out of bed at the minute. And when I'm setting my alarm, I'm trying to get myself prepared, get into bed early. We were talking about this last week, well, the week before, saying about, making sure there's no point me going to bed at like, I don't know, 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, then
Yeah,
being able to get up at 6 and do my meditation and all that kind of stuff,
yeah.
which doesn't happen. But even when I'm getting into bed early, I'm just still waking up and I'm just knackered.
All right, Emma, let me ask you a question then. What's the last thing you do before bed?
Well, okay, so I'm going to let the secrets out the bag now. I listen on my phone to
Yeah,
affirmations. So I
okay.
put my earphones in and I listen to affirmations. Having said that, what I sometimes do, which I know I shouldn't do, because I've got my phone in my hand, I end up having a quick flick
Yeah,
on the phone. And then
yeah.
my brain's going, right, thinking of all this stuff that
It makes a difference. Yeah.
it
Infinite
does.
scrolling that we do, yeah, it makes such
Yeah,
a difference. Because, I'm not going to lie, I'm guilty of that sometimes as well. And I kind of saw a pattern because when I
yeah,
do that, I
yeah,
notice that my sleep isn't as good as when I
yeah,
don't do it.
yeah.
So it does make a difference, yeah. So put that
But
phone away, get rid of it.
yeah. But then I love listening to the affirmations, you see. I do a bit, I listen to the meditation affirmations. I
Yeah,
feel like, like we used to have, I don't even know if they still do it because I suppose everything's on our phone now. But you used to have like the old iPods that you
yeah,
could
yeah,
just plug in and it was just a bit of music or, whether it's whatever, a story, whatever it is
yeah,
that you're into, podcasts. Um, because it's too tempting, isn't it, when you've got your phone, you've got all your
yeah.
emails and stuff like that going on.
Very much so. Very much
But
so.
let's get to it. Let's get to it. So,
Okay, let's do it.
obviously the reason I'm pulling these together for anyone that's watching, my lovely friend Renee's watching. Renee, this is Puneet. He's amazing. So he's someone that I've been following on Instagram because I'm reaching out to people on Instagram, other coaches at the moment, just wanting to learn really and wanting to add value to as many women as I possibly can. So I'm all about building confidence. My business is all about building confidence. And I'm teaming up with these inspirational leaders and people that I'm following that I'm getting something from. And we want to try and share that with
Of
everybody.
course.
So I reached out to you, Puneet, because what I found with your coaching and when I've been going over your Instagram, looking at your grid, you talk a lot about meditation. You talk a lot about manifestation, which is something I want to learn more about. I'm so intrigued by that whole concept of vibration and energy and all that kind of stuff. So can you just tell us a little bit about you, your little backstory, and then I've just got a few questions that I want to ask you today.
Yeah, yeah, sure. So my journey started in around 2009. I got married and it didn't work out. So we sort of went our separate ways. It was all amicable. And then, I started to think to myself, why didn't it work out? What was happening? And then one of my friends, he introduced me to meditation. He took me to a meditation retreat in Glastonbury. And, like I said to you previously, it was a game changer. It changed my life. And for those of you that haven't been to Glastonbury, I really advise you to go there when you get the chance, because I know it's difficult now, but when you get the chance, go there and just feel the magic of the place. So I went there, went on meditation retreat for around 3 days. And the stuff I saw and I heard, it was absolutely unbelievable. I mean, there was this one guy that basically in the middle of meditation, he just jumped up and screamed and said, I did this in my past life and I just remembered it. And I think that's where all my negative emotions coming from. And that was like out of this world for me, because I never experienced anything. Yeah. He had a realization and right in front of us. And he started crying. This was like a man's man, this guy was. And you just wouldn't expect tears to come out of him. And he just started crying. And we all felt so emotional. And so that was my real first taste of meditation. And then after that, everything was going, okay. I had a gym as well. I had a gym. And in 2010, I opened that. And that was my dream. So I opened that in 2010 after the divorce. And then, things were going okay until I had a personal falling out with family. And that took me downhill, that did. And I could have gone either way. I could have either gone, back into meditation or, really depressed. And for a while, it was kind of a touch and go. So I decided because my daughter was going to be born, and, then I had a really positive attitude anyway. So I decided, let's go the positive way. So I started meditating again. And through my meditation, I manifested my wife. So I remarried. I sat down, meditated. I manifested my wife. I still believe that to this day. And she came into my life, everything that I wanted. And so once I got married to her, I realized the power of meditation. And then from then on, meditation just grew in my life. My daughter was born. We were still living. There were times where I had 20p in my pocket, but I would not let that get me down. I think, as long as I can feed my kids, I will. My child, I'll be fine. So so that's kind of my story. And then from 2009, to now, has been the most amazing experience of my life. Honestly, the stuff that's happened. Because if I sit here and tell you, I'll be here for hours. So putting a long story short, the stuff that's happened in those 10 years have just changed my life. So I decided, rather than go down a depression route, I've gone down the meditation and the positivity route. And I tell you, manifestation works if you know how to do it correctly.
Yeah. See, that's what I find amazing. And like I said, when I've been looking at some of your posts and been watching some of your videos, because it's trying to get manifestation across to people so they understand how it works.
Yeah.
Because so many people, you'd say manifestation, they think it's a load of old crap.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They go, what? You can't manifest stuff. They don't actually understand how your thinking creates an experience over time. Your thinking actually leads on to an actual experience. So I know, and you were saying to me when we spoke before, how you got to a point where you were really depressed. You were quite close to feeling like you wanted to end it all, and you didn't really feel you had any other option, but you decided to go, like you say, start meditating again and going down that route. Yeah,
because when you're in that anxious, depressed kind of mode, you kind of do not see any light at the end of the tunnel, and you say to yourself, you always ask yourself the question, why is this happening to me? That's a common question.
Why me? Why me?
And again, that question relates to the law of attraction, because I was always mirroring why is this happening to me. So I was getting that back as well. So all these things kept on accumulating because of the law of attraction as well.
Like cause and effect, I suppose. What you're putting out there, that's going to come back to you.
Exactly.
So when it comes to, because this is a question that I have, when it comes to manifesting something, we spoke before, we spoke about the vibration. Where does the process start? Does it start with meditation and you really sort of getting, putting your attention to a certain thing that you want to happen? Or how do you go about it? And then we spoke before about the vibration and you having to be on the right sort of vibrational frequency to what it is that you want. So if you're feeling it, or if you're thinking it in your head, it doesn't necessarily mean you're just going to get it. You have to actually do more than just that.
Well, I think it's with meditation. Now, meditation is about alignment. So it's not necessarily about it's kind of the beginning process of manifestation, but it's more about the alignment. So you need to be in alignment with the universe, kind of thing. So meditating, like I said, people make it more complicated than it is. Obviously, you got all these different types of meditations, transcendental, sort of handstand meditation, all these meditations. However, if you just sit there and breathe, listen to your breath, that's all you need to do. So you don't need to make it complicated. Now, this is what I try and do with my Instagram page as well. I try and make it really simple for people to understand. Yeah, because if you hear a load of jargon, you're gonna run away from it. Oh, I can't do this. I'm not gonna, and that fear is gonna kick in.
Yeah,
so yeah, definitely. So meditation is getting yourself in alignment, and then there's 4 processes. So there's asking. Yeah. So you ask the universe for whatever you want. Yeah. And then you let the universe do its thing. And then there's the allowing process. Now the allowing process is probably the most difficult, because that's when you let it in, and then that's when your vibration has to match your desire. As we say, they have to be intertwined like that. They can't be like this. They have to meet each other, because otherwise it will never ever work. Sure. And when I say vibration, I mean the way you're feeling. So, for example, say I want a car, or I want that car, and I want it next week. It doesn't come next week, and I'm, oh right, okay, it didn't come, like that. So that's straight away, I'm not in alignment. That's what I'm telling the universe. I'm not trusting in you. I'm not listening to you. I'm not taking all the signs that you're giving to me. I'm not in alignment with you. So it's never going to happen. Whereas if you're in alignment, you might not get the car next week, but it will come to you, because the universe has always got a plan for you, always, and it's always better than our own for ourselves.
And it's having that. Yeah, sorry.
Go on.
I was going to say, it's having that belief, isn't it? Because it's very hard to have that belief when, if you think negatively, or if your experiences haven't been the experiences you've wanted throughout your life, due to whatever, it's very hard to think positively. So it's very hard to then have that belief, isn't it? Of
course. See, it all starts from a belief. So now I've got to the stage where I don't believe, I know.
And it all starts, right.
There's nothing wrong with hope, and there's nothing wrong with believing, but I've kind of put hope and belief behind me now, because of my experiences in life. Now I know, and I've seen it work. I know whatever I want to manifest, it will manifest, but at the right time for me. So if I'm not feeling the vibration at a certain time, it's not going to manifest. But when I am feeling the vibration, it will manifest for me. And that's the difference between hope, belief, and knowing. There is a massive difference. When you know something's going to happen, oh yeah, that's going to happen. I'll just leave it to you now, universe. I'm going to step away. I'm going to do my thing, and you're going to give it to me when it's right.
When the time is right, definitely. So you were saying, so going back, so the initial start of it is meditation. So breathing, getting in alignment, and then asking for what it is that you want, and then having that real desire to achieve it.
Yeah, just listen to your breath as well. With meditation, you don't have to say mantras or anything. Listen to your breath. And if you have a thought in your head, just process it. Don't be scared of it. Even if it's a negative thought, process it and let it go. And then once you start listening to your breathing, you will hear nothing but your breathing. And suddenly you're at this high level of consciousness where you don't even know how you got there, but you've got it's pure bliss and euphoria. So that's where people will get to, but they just cannot, and I can't stress this enough, they cannot be afraid of meditation. Just because thoughts are coming into their head, let them come. Process them, they will go. Just keep listening to your breath and just keep trying it, and you will get there. Definitely.
That's what I find, and I have been really practicing it actually since we spoke a couple of weeks back. But I find like I tend to put like a bit of music on, or there's there's a bell chant that I listen to, just because I find it gives me something. I'll breathe, but it sort of gives me something to think. I suppose we try not to think to a certain degree, but it's like a bit of a focus. It sort of seems to get me to where I need to be. And it'll be funny, I'll be breathing, but then all of a sudden, all of this stuff starts coming in. These thoughts come in.
Let it. Yeah.
And like you say, rather than trying to stop thinking, because the more you tell yourself to stop thinking, the more you start thinking. Is just to sort of just let them go, let them come in and just let them go. And then just go focus back on the breath, which 100%. Is amazing. Because when you've got that focus, it sort of brings you in alignment, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I didn't learn it overnight. It took a long time. I was like this, I was like yourself, and like many people, negative thoughts, and I'd open my eyes and think, you know what, I can't do this. Forget about it. I'm gonna go and play the PlayStation. I'm gonna go and do this, or I'm gonna do this. Something that would take my mind off those suppressed emotions. And then once I nailed it, I just kept on going. And and like I can easily meditate now for an hour. Minimum. Yeah, I can sit there for an hour. But like I said, it's all practice. Like everything, it's all practice.
Yeah. Okie doke. So how do you manifest your goals? That's how you go about it. Meditation, asking, and just letting it happen, having
Yeah,
patience, I suppose,
that's
in
it.
the process.
So yeah, because like I said, the four processes. So you're asking, you're giving it to the universe, letting the universe do its thing, and then you're allowing. Then the fourth is, now this is an important one as well. You're going to get a lot of people saying to you, like you said at the start, manifestation is rubbish. Or what are you asking the universe? Universe isn't a thing. Yeah. So what are you asking? So
Yeah.
you have to get to the stage where negativity from external sources cannot affect you.
Mm.
That is probably one of the hardest things to do. Whereas,
Mm.
it could be your own family saying to you,
Mm.
oh, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. This isn't going to work. Or it could be your closest friend saying to you, this isn't going to work. But once you cut that out, you'll
Mm.
be honestly they're your 4 steps to manifesting. And like I said, just because someone is part of your family, this is what I learned. This is what took me a long time to get my head around. Just because someone is part of your family, it doesn't mean that they're good for you.
No.
And it doesn't mean that they have to be in your life.
Yeah.
So that is so important.
Yeah.
It's all about the positivity that's around you, and you will
Yeah.
naturally attract that. Once you
Yeah.
become like that, you'll naturally attract it.
Yeah, 120 million%. I agree with you on that. And actually, I've just done a podcast. I'm doing a podcast with another coach who's
Oh
lovely. It's
wow,
something we've been doing for the last few weeks. And
awesome.
last week, which I literally just uploaded these last couple of days, was around peer groups and
Oh
mentors
yes,
and,
yeah,
the community that you put, that you're in. And that's one of the things we spoke about when it comes to being in business, or, wanting to start a business or running a business or whatever it is that you're doing. You have to have that belief in what it is that you want to achieve, and not everyone has that same belief as you, which is fine. That's absolutely fine. But then don't go to those people for advice
no,
around what it is that you want to achieve, because they're not going
exactly,
to be in the same, they're not,
exactly,
they're not on the same page as you. So it's
no,
so important that you surround yourself with the right people. Or
yeah,
if you're looking to achieve something, ask the people that you trust and that have got your
yeah,
back and that have
yeah,
got your intentions at heart.
yeah,
Ask those people, and get those people to support you, rather than those that
yeah,
just don't get it. Because so many, for that reason, I think so many people shy away from manifestation, shy away from meditation, because other people, not so much meditation now. I think that's has become a bigger
yeah,
thing, especially this year with everything that's
yeah,
going on. They're encouraging people with mental health, with mental health issues, to try and quiet their mind. And meditation is incredible. But manifestation, I think so many people be like, oh, it's a load of old rubbish. But it's amazing when you open your mind to things and you just ask yourself a different question, how you can move forward in life, don't you
yeah,
think?
yeah. Oh, do you know what? It's
Um,
incredible. It's incredible.
and put yourself out there. No different to what you did with going on and doing the meditation for 3 days. I mean, someone else might think that's completely insane, but look what
Yeah,
you
it was
got
it
from
was
it.
random. It was random. Yeah, it was random. But it's something that I really, really, I didn't know at the time. But when I actually did it and came out
Mm,
from it, even now to this day, I look back and think, I needed that. I really needed
yeah,
that for me to be where I am today, because obviously that
yeah,
started everything for me. And even though
yeah,
between that and now, there's been so much that's happened.
yeah.
It was a starting block for me. Definitely,
Amazing, amazing.
definitely.
Right, let's go through the questions. I've put how best to meditate. Is there anything we should ensure we do or include when we meditate? I know you've touched on that, and I know when we spoke a couple of weeks ago and you told me you meditate for an hour, which is something I would bloody love to be able to do. I'd love to be able to get up and sit there and meditate for an hour, but 10 minutes is maybe 15,
That's
20.
brilliant.
But
That's
like,
brilliant.
even that
Yeah,
is hard. That's quite hard
that
for
is
me to
so good.
sit
That's
there
so
and
good
keep
though.
trying to. So
Do you know
is
the
there any?
majority of people will only be able to meditate for like 2 to 3, well, 2 to 5 minutes, yeah, I'd say.
Yeah,
So 10, 15 minutes is
it's good.
absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, we're
It really
building
is.
it. So is there
Yeah.
anything that we need to, I know you spoke about your breathing, but is there
Yeah.
any tips or tricks you've got in
Yeah.
line with that?
When I first started, I used to go into a dark room, light a candle, and I used to focus right on the flame. I used to just look at the flame.
Ah,
I used to just
lovely.
yeah, so I just
Love
looked at the
that.
flame, and you could do it. You can like burn a sage candle or something, because even the aroma of sage, it
Yeah,
relaxes you. So
yeah,
I used to look at the flame, and just my eyes would just like naturally close, and that's when I first started. So obviously the thoughts were still coming into my head and everything, and I didn't
yeah,
have to process them. But to get into meditation at the start, that's what I used to do, and I think that is a really good thing for beginners to do,
yeah.
especially if you
I
just if you
love
just need to
that.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Brilliant. And I've also put here my final question before I just ask you about, a little bit more about yourself, but how do you set the right intention to attract exactly what you want? So I know that's meditation, um, but do you have to be really specific with what you want? I know when we spoke and you were talking about different things that have come into your life that you manifested into your life. And it's funny because an example of this from me would be, I created a vision board about 4 years ago, a big vision board with the kids. We cut stuff out of magazines, we put it on this big board, and it was all different things that we wanted to happen. And I've got that board now, and everything bar one thing is on that board that has happened. And but this is me being a bit cynical and us women overthinking it. I'm like, well, that's only happened because of X. Like, that's only happened because maybe I don't know, I sold my property, or that's only happened because we made a move, or
That's your ego. That is
that the ego? Right.
That's the ego.
So,
and do you know what? Do you know a lot of spiritual gurus will say the ego stands for edge, God out. So God, the universe, or whatever. So EGO, edge, God out, and that's what your ego wants to do. It wants to basically control everything about you, and it wants to make you see just the material plane, just the physical plane, rather than the non-physical. So I think so. Yeah, you have to, and that's what's happened, because when you manifested all these things on your vision board, you were in alignment. Your vibration matched your desire. So it all came, and it was all bound to come. Because when we set the intention, there's, say for example, there's a big door next to you. You open that door, you set the intention, you ask, all that stuff's getting stored in that closet next to you. And if your desire isn't matching your vibration, that door's going to stay locked. It's never going to come through. If you want £1 million, if you want money, if you want to pay your bills, it's all there. Then once your vibration hits your desire, that door will open and that stuff will come flooding through.
Right.
It's as simple as that.
So you have to be pretty specific with what you're you're
the universe will listen to every word you say. The universe will listen to every word you say. So if you're being general, you're not going to get anywhere with it. But even with affirmations, you have to be careful with the words you're starting your affirmations with. So for example, I will, I can. All these words are saying to the universe, I will do that, maybe tomorrow, or I can do it, but I might not do it. Whereas it's I am, certainty. I have, in the present. Set your intention in the present, because that's all there is.
Yeah. You're right. It's like you say, when you say that, that's so powerful, isn't it? I am. It's that knowing that is what you are.
It is, yeah.
And so, and this is going in a little bit deeper, I suppose, but if I'm saying I am, but I don't believe I am, do I continue saying I am?
No, because you're just saying words. They're just words. That's all they are. If you don't know that you are, then it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Like I say, even start off with a belief and it will turn into a knowing, but even you have to believe it first. You have to really believe it. And if you don't, like I said, they're just empty words that are coming out of your mouth.
Yeah. Brilliant. I love that. So if people want to hear more, what do you offer, Puneet? I know.
Well, the thing is, at the moment, I'm a personal trainer by trade. You know, I do nutrition plans, all this stuff. But my real love is helping people, and I give that for free currently on my Instagram page. So obviously, all my videos and everything, that's what I do, and I love doing it. I try and listen to my inner guide. You asked a question earlier about how do you set your intentions, or how do you start. Your inner guide is your best friend, and if you ever feel a negative emotion, that's because you're not in alignment with your inner guide. So your soul, people know it as. So once you're in alignment with your soul, you experience pure bliss, and I'm on about just happiness and joy, and that's when hang on a minute, I can manifest here. Whereas if you're going towards another side of it, whereas you're negative, I'm not in line with this guy. So that's what you have to make sure you do. And with me, I listen to my inner guide. So if I write a fitness blog, I write a fitness blog, and if my guide says to me, Puneet, write about this today, I'll be like, all right, I'm going to write about this. And people might think I'm crazy, but it's worked for me, and I know for a fact there's a higher source of energy that's taken me in certain directions.
I just love that. Oh my God, I just love what you're all about. Honestly, I do. And I got that.
Thank you.
As soon as I saw your page, and I was just watching some of your videos, I love just how raw you are with what you feel. You just talk about and you say.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's so cool. Thank you so much. Thank you.
No, thank you.
And so if anyone does, go over to Puneet's page, go over to his Instagram, because he offers so much free advice, content on there. I know he's the sort of person, if you have a question, you can literally message him and he will come back to you and he will help and support you in any way he possibly
Definitely.
can. Because that's exactly what I did. I messaged him. I was like, I need to learn a bit more from you, and I'm just trying to learn from as many people as I possibly can at the moment.
Well, same with me.
That.
Emma, I've learned so much from you, and anyone who messages me, I know I'll learn just as much from them as well. So it works both ways, definitely.
Definitely. I always say you're always the student and the teacher, don't you think?
100%.
You're always
100%.
learning something.
100%. And when the student's ready, the teacher will appear.
Yes. Yes. You're my teacher now, Puneet.
Oh, thank you. No, you're mine. Thank you.
I'm going to be
Appreciate
following
it.
you all the way. Thank you so much.
100%. And me with you as well.
Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll
You're welcome.
catch you soon. See you later. Have a
Thank
great
you very
day.
much, guys. Take care. Cheers.
See ya.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Bye. And you. Bye.
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 How amazing. I think I'm still alive. How amazing is that guy? I'm just going to have a look at a couple of these messages. Thanks, Ren. I don't know if you're still watching, but this guy, honest to God, I was watching, I was going through his grid the other day and a couple of videos that he'd done. He dropped his kids to school and he was sat in the car and he was talking about something. I don't know if he'd manifested a parking space or something random. But just what he had to say, and you know, when someone talks to you about this sort of stuff, but really makes it understandable so that you can put your own actions into place and try it for yourself. And I think it's always good to have an open mind. You dip your toe in the water and you just get a little bit of a feeling, you learn something new, and then that moves on to something else. So for me, he was talking to me about intentions, because I was saying I have all these different ideas of things that I want to do, or, you know, stuff I want to achieve. And he was saying to me, right, just set an intention and then ask the question. Do a bit of meditation, do a bit of breathing and ask the question. And I started to do that. And then I realized I was sort of going down, I felt like I was going down the right road. It was like you have these different avenues, and I felt I was actually taking the right path for me, in line with what, like my inner compass, if you like, in line with what I felt was the right thing to do. And you only get that awareness when you step back. You only seem to get that awareness when you're patient with yourself, but also you step back, and you just, you know, calm things down a little bit. When we're crazy busy and we're running from one thing to the next, and we're trying to get all this stuff done, it's just your, like, repetitive. It's just like the routine's just coming in constantly. And sometimes you just need to step back and step out of it to actually get a feel for the road that you need to take, for that route that you need to take. So he is amazing. I highly recommend you pop over to the Be Coaching Instagram page and follow him, because he's really good. He's amazing. But have a lovely day. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch up with you soon. Bye.